Hi, I want to quickly tell you how I make this cheesy broccoli rice casserole with or without meat. I used to make this 30 years ago regularly, and then as my kids got older I didn't make it as often. I think probably the gluten issue, I just kind of stopped making it, but for years this and lasagna were my go-tos. I would make I had probably 10 casserole dishes. And I would make this and put them in the freezer. I'd put saran wrap over the top of this and then aluminum foil and then freeze them. I'd stack them crisscross when I was freezing them, and then once they were frozen I'd stack them all up in one corner of the freezer and pull them out and just put them in the oven. What you do is you just take off the saran wrap and then just leave the aluminum foil on and then remove it at the end to brown the top. So quickly, it's just, I looked online to see if I could find the same recipe and I wasn't able to find it, so I've kind of recreated it. Basically, you take a sleeve of Ritz crackers and you brown it. You whack it with the back of a knife, leave it in the container, and you whack it with this until it's crushed. And then you brown it in a skillet with a quarter stick of butter. And once it's browned, you stick it in to the bottom of the casserole dish, and you lay a little bit aside for the topping. You can see it's the topping. So it's a nice buttery, crispy bottom and top. And then for the inside, this one actually, I layered shredded turkey on the base on top of this. If you want to do meat in all of it, you can just stir it in with this before you stick it in the casserole dish. But since I am doing two different ones, some meat and some without meat, I had to put it actually on top of this and then just cover it with the cheesy stuff. But you can mix some kind of chicken or turkey or meat, ham cubes or something in with the casserole itself. So basically, it's a cube of 16-ounce Velveeta, one sleeve of Ritz crackers, about a half a cup to 3/4 cup butter, because you use a little bit for this, and then the rest you use one medium to large onion. You saute that in the rest of the butter, and then once the onions are soft, you mix in the Velveeta. I usually just chop it in cubes and melt it up. And then 1 can of cream of chicken soup or mushroom, if you like mushrooms. And then I add in a can full of milk. And then you can use frozen broccoli or fresh broccoli. I like frozen because it's easier. Then you dump in the frozen broccoli and stir it up. And once you've got all that mixed up and melted and looking good, then you add about 1.5 cups of rice and put that in. And then you pour it on top of the crispy Ritz crackers. I'm just scooping it in with the measuring cup I used with the rice. And then you top it with the crumbly Ritz cracker butter mixture, and then you can bake it in the oven for 30 minutes at 350, or you can make a bunch of them, saran wrap the top, then aluminum foil the top, and then on the top of the aluminum foil with Sharpie. Let me see if I can show you on the lasagna. I don't know, it's right here. I was going to clean the freezer today and haven't gotten around to it. Anyway, so I write the instructions on the top. I don't know if you can see them with the glare. Let's see if I can get in the shade where you can see it. So I've written it with Sharpie. You can see it a little bit. Anyway, if I didn't have the glare, you could see it. So basically, I take off the saran wrap and bake with the foil on for an hour or so until cooked. So this is the lasagna. But so you put 30 minutes, cook at 350 for 30 minutes, and then remove the foil and let it brown for 10 minutes or so, but don't let it burn. And then I wrote on there, "Love you, Mom." But anyway, that's how I do it. And so when somebody has a baby or there's a funeral or something, basically you just take the foil off, take the saran wrap off, put the foil back on, and take it over to the person's house. And it's got the instructions written on there. You can write your name so they know whose dish it is. I also usually, if I'm taking over, I always freeze them in glass dishes, so I have a lot of glass dishes, but I put tape on the bottom of the glass dish with my name on it, some masking tape, if I'm taking over. You can do this in the non keepable type, the tinfoil kind. But I just get these at yard sales and secondhand stores for years, and then I would stack probably 5 or 6. I'd make a bunch, 5 or 6 lasagnas and 5 or 6 of these casseroles, and just stack them in the freezer for days when I didn't have time to cook, or I had somebody that needed a meal. So anyway, this is one of our favorite. My daughter asked me to please make this for her. She just had a baby this week and wanted to have this, so I'm recreating it. It's been years since I've made it. So anyway, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll blog about it. Check out my blog, thesecretisgratitude.com, and I will have the instructions and pictures there. So feel free to check that out. Thanks for watching, and have a blessed day.